Hello, I want to welcome you to a little tutorial on beat making. Um, this tutorial is going to show you how to make a track from scratch. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I go about it and what I do to make tracks. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to get your sounds into the system. So I'm starting with this sound right here. It's a little melody. Let me see. What folder is time for? Alright. So, over here is where all your sounds are. Over in this section right over here. So, what you need to do is, if you have a sound that you like, you take it and you drag it over into here. If you have a sound that you prefer. For now, we have this sound right here, so we don't need to do anything because this is already what I already previously had. So I have that dragged in, and once I drag that in, I use this paint tool right here, and I just paint it over the whole track, and I'll let you hear how it sounds. So that sound right there, if you double click it, it'll bring up the sound itself. And if you look on this track thing this track chooser right here, I can choose which track I want to put it into. So right now I have it in track 2. Once I have it in track 2, the mixer track, I can pick different effects. I want to add reverb, compression, I can add delay, I can make it sound crazy and weird. For right now, I just have a chord finder, so I could find which key the track is in. Right now, it's telling me it's in D minor. Okay, so once I have that, I'll go on to the drums. So for this tutorial, the drums are just really simple. It's a hi-hat that I chose and a snare. Again, in order to get a hi-hat and a snare into your system, you go over to here, wherever you keep your hi-hats and snares and all those sounds. Wherever you keep those, which I keep mine in this folder here, hi-hats, and they're all separated: kick, snare. Hi-hats, claps, 808s, and kicks. So right now I just have a hi-hat and a snare, and I'll let you hear how it sounds with the track itself. So in order to make those sounds and make the pattern, what I do is I right click onto the sound and go to piano roll. Once you see piano roll here checked here, it allows for you to see the sound as blocks in this grid format. So if I drag this all the way out and you listen to the hi-hat, now let me just mute everything so you can just hear the hi-hat by itself. And then the snare, I did not put it into the same thing I put into the grid, but you can add stuff. If I wanted to. Like I could add another hi-hat here, another snare at the end. But I don't really like that sound, so I'm going to delete that out of there. But for now, this is the basic beat that I'm going to go with for now, that I like. I'm going to take this off of solo. So this is my general beat. So now what I want to do is add in some more beefiness to the drums. So the next part I'm going to add in is a kick. So all this was pre-made, so don't worry, it's all pre-made. So now the kick is the same thing as the hi-hat and the snares. It's all produced the same way by clicking into these grids according to the time signature of the track. So the first beat, this first line here, is called the downbeat. So I normally kicks always start on the downbeat, so I always have a kick filled in right here. Let me delete this. So if you listen to this one with the kick, boom, and that's pretty simple. That's all I needed. So the next thing I need after that is an 808, just to give it more low end and fill in the bottom part of the track. The 808 is more of a melodic sound, so I bring it into the piano roll like I did the hi-hats. So the reason I do that is because I'm able to see all the notes. Here on the grid, down here in the grid, you can't see any notes. It just draws everything on middle C. No matter where you put it in the grid here, if you fill in these little notches, it's always going to draw it onto middle C. So in order to not do that, like I showed you about the hi-hats, you right click on your sound and click piano roll, and it now brings it into this system here where you can see the multiple notes and then change the notes. So now I'll let you hear it with the 808s now. This is something you may have to put on headphones in order to hear it totally clear, because 808s don't transition well through smaller speakers. But what happens is this 808 just beefs up the bottom part. And then from there on out, it's just sprinkles. You're just adding in sprinkles and little, it's like just the icing on top of the cake, all the extra stuff that just makes the beat more full. One more thing I thought would make this beat more full is a vocal sample. So I use a virtual instrument. This is called a virtual instrument, a VST. This one is called Arcade, and this one produces vocals. So if I press if you press any note, it'll display a vocal for you. For this beat, I kept it pretty simple. It's a pretty easy beat, right? This one. So it's really only two notes playing, one at the downbeat, one on the downbeat, and then two on the transition bars. These are called transition bars. you hear everything all together. I'll let you hear it with just the melody and the vocal samples, just so you can have a clear idea how it sounds. Okay, one other sound I added in there was a extra hi-hat. So if you listen to when the beat transitions from one part to the next, it adds in another hi-hat just to give it a little bit more oomph. So I'll let you hear that all together. See right here, it's just a simple hi-hat, and you'll see, I'll make this bigger, as the bar, as you transition over, there's a pause where there's no hi-hat here, and then all the beat comes back. And that's how you get those grandiose moments in your track where everything just comes back and it's like a banger. It's a banger when it comes right back. So I'll let you hear that. See, it's just like, that's how you get those monumental moments. I'll let you hear it one more time. So every now and then, I'm going to take out the melody sound. You see how I drag this back? It causes for a silence to happen. I'm going to do that every 2 bars, just to give it dynamic, just to get that. I want that monumental. I want that the beat to come back in very strong. The silence before it allows for space for the listener. And then it just comes back really hard. It almost kind of shocks the listener because they don't know what's going to really come next. But yeah, those are the little sprinkles and the little add-ons that you would add on to your track as well, just to give it more dynamics, make it sound more professional. And it'll be, when the rapper or the singer hears the track, they'll be more excited to come up with rhymes and clever lyrics just off of these open moments right here. Yes, but that's how you make a track from scratch. That's how you make a music bed for a rapper or a singer to jump on and kill. I go by the name Zvlu, ZVLU. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud. Thank you very much.